Coming up, 4 people, including 2 children, are taken to the hospital following a 2-car crash here on Tates Creek Road.
This year is up 10%. It's an epidemic.
There's a smartphone app that would actually help cut down on distracted driving. How one Central Kentucky man is helping make a difference.
The ladies hit the hardwood today at Rupp Arena.
Fabulous. That's one word.
But for some women, today's clinic was about more than just basketball.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Bad crash on a busy Lexington road today. Good evening. Thanks for watching WKYT News on the CW Lexington. I'm Sean Moody. Parts of Tates Creek Road was shut down this morning after 2 cars collided. This happened at the intersection of Old Dobbin Road. Now, fortunately, no one was hurt seriously. WKYT's Mike Byer shows us what caused the crash in our top story at 6.
4 people, including 2 children, are recovering in the hospital following a 2-car crash here on Tates Creek Road. The crash happened shortly after 11 this morning at the intersection of Tates Creek Road and Old Dobbin Road, right across the street from Centenary United Methodist Church. Police say a Hyundai Santa Fe was turning right onto Tates Creek Road from Old Dobbin when it was hit by a GMC Jimmy that was traveling outbound on Tates Creek Road. As a result, both SUVs ended up in the median of Tates Creek Road. Police tell us 1 person in the Santa Fe and a woman and 2 children in the GMC were taken to the hospital. Police say everyone's injuries are non-life-threatening. Now, officers tell me this accident could have been much worse and that the 4 people injured are extremely lucky to have only suffered minor injuries. In Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
A 1 lane of outbound Tates Creek Road was shut down while crews cleaned up the scene. It has since reopened. We are learning new information tonight about a double shooting last week here in Lexington. Police said 2 men were shot Thursday night at a home on Red Mile Road. 20-year-old Demetrian Boaz is charged with first-degree robbery. According to court documents, Boaz and 2 others held 2 people at gunpoint until someone else fired shots at the suspects. Those documents go on to say that one of the victims, 22-year-old Robert Record, was shot once in the back on accident. The second victim, 19-year-old Saquon Freeman, was shot 5 times. Police say Freeman is still in serious condition. Record is expected to be okay. Police say the robbery happened after Boaz pulled a gun on his cousin, who was trying to sell him a ½ ounce of marijuana. Police haven't made any other arrests in the case. And in western Kentucky, state police say 1 man is dead after an officer-involved shooting. Troopers say a woman called 911 in Metcalfe County, saying she'd been in a fight with her boyfriend and that he was outside shooting a gun into the air. When officers got to the house, troopers tell us the man, 38-year-old Kenny Tomlin, came out of the house with a rifle. Troopers said Tomlin would not put down that rifle and fired a shot. They fired back, killing him. State police say they are still investigating. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a deadly fire overnight in Louisville. The McMahon fire chief said the fire destroyed a home on Graff Drive. He says a man who lived at the home died there at the scene. That man has since been identified as 74-year-old Gordon Combs. They believe he was killed by smoke inhalation and thermal injuries. The fire chief said the man's wife was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation, but she is expected to be okay. 2 people are dead tonight after a crash in Boone County. The sheriff's office there says a driver lost control of their Dodge Dart on North Bend Road at River Road late last night. A 27-year-old died there at the scene, and deputies say a 24-year-old later died at the hospital. The driver and another passenger had non-life-threatening injuries. Deputies said the driver is cooperating with them, and so far they haven't filed any charges. And in California tonight, investigators are looking into what they're calling could be one of the deadliest bus accidents there in recent years. 13 people are dead after a tour bus collided with a tractor trailer near Palm Springs this morning. Police say that bus slammed into the big rig on Interstate 10. 31 other people were injured. It's still unclear exactly what caused the wreck. And it's been a deadly year so far on the roads here in Kentucky. We've had nearly 30 more deaths this year than we had around the same time last year. The police have been doing what they can to curb that number, but they're not alone in the fight. A Kentucky man is one of the brains behind the app Lifesaver. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner has the story, new at 6.
It's an app that's been around for more than a year now, but recently it's picked up steam. The goal of the app is to stop texting and driving because distracted driving is the lead cause of crashes for teens out on the roadways.
Last year, it went up 8.8%. Its first 6 months of this year is up 10%. It's an epidemic.
So far this year, there have been 623 deaths on Kentucky highways. That's already more than 2015's total of 592. James Howe says something needs to be done to get those numbers down rather than up. He says Lifesaver can do that. The app is downloadable on smartphones. Once it's on your phone and your car starts moving, the app shuts down cell phone usage except for emergencies.
If they need to send a text or need to make a phone call, they can pull off the road, stop the car, and instantly open their phone. They can do all the texting they want.
Here's the catch. If the app is deleted off a cell phone, say by a teenager, a text message is sent to the parent letting them know.
Every adult I've spoken to love the idea that it's about time. Their goal is to stop the deaths from texting and driving by 50% in the next 5 years. And we can achieve that goal if we are successful. It will save about 1,700 lives a year.
Hal has been talking with Woodford County Sheriff Wayne Wright. Wright is bringing the app in front of the Kentucky Sheriff's Association board next month. The sheriff says he's all about anything that would cut down distracted driving. In Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
The sheriff hopes driving schools will put information about the app in their lobbies. It has been a chilly weekend here, but at least we're wrapping up with a little bit of sun, and the start of the work week is looking great. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at that forecast.
Yeah, it looks pretty good out there, on average at least. It's going to be about an average week as we go rolling into your Monday and beyond. Right now, here in Lexington, you can see it is absolutely gorgeous. The problem is, we're losing all that sunshine, but it did warm us up into the 70s today. 71 right now in Lexington with a feels-like temperature of 71. Of course, you're going to see that the humidity is at a lower level, not really having a major impact on it. Winds are coming in out of the southwest at 15 miles per hour with some more impressive gusts from time to time. Area-wide, upper 60s and low and mid-70s are out there for us, so a very comfortable day compared to, especially to yesterday. Here's what we've got on our Defender Radar Network. It is a quiet evening ahead for you. No showers, thunderstorms. Believe it or not, a frontal boundary is dropping off into the area here tonight. And as it does, what it will do is it'll increase maybe a little bit of cloudiness, but not by much. The overall, though, the trend for tomorrow is impacted. As you see, we're down quite a bit for highs, back into the mid-60s. I will track that front into the area without any rain coming up for you in the full forecast.
Jim, thank you. UK's female fans got a treat today. Today, Coach Cal hosted his annual women's clinic at Rupp Arena. The ladies got to catch up with some former players, talk to Calipari, and even join in some basketball drills. WKYT's Sabira Rayford hit the court with them.
This is the first year the women's clinic is being held in Rupp Arena, and attendance did not disappoint, with more than 1,000 ladies here today.
Fabulous. That's one word.
There were selfies and tons of signatures.
I told them to write so I could read it, so I could make sure it's permanent.
Today's basketball clinic was all about the ladies.
On behalf of all the Southerners, I would like to welcome everyone to the women's clinic.
But for Ashley Lyles, it was another reminder of how far she's come.
December 2015, actually right before the Louisville game, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 glioblastoma.
Lyles called it a death sentence. She says the brain tumor usually leaves people with only months to live. But she says with the help of her Wildcat family, she fought back.
You know, I am so lucky that I had the support from friends and family and Big Blue Nation. So many people who I didn't even know, who have seen interviews or articles, have reached out, have donated. Everywhere I go, I feel like a celebrity now, but that has helped more than anybody will know.
She says last season her goal was to make it to the SEC tournament. Now she's done that and more.
I was invited to a practice last season, so now I feel like I get to see some friends, and you know, team after team that I'm lucky to meet, they're amazing.
$10,000 from today's women's clinic was donated to the Markey Cancer Foundation. At Rupp Arena, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
The Wildcats will take on Stephen F. Austin for their first game of the season at Rupp Arena coming up on November 11th. Still ahead on WKYT News on the CW Lexington, it is back to business as usual tomorrow for Jim Beam employees. In terms of their new contract coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
It has certainly been a breezy and very sunny day out there across most of central and into eastern Kentucky. Right now, tracking some decent wind gusts here, even in Lexington, 20-25 miles per hour. You can see some of those gusts that we currently have right now in the city. So it's been that way for a little while here, too, as well, throughout a better part of the day. Now, let me show you what else we've got going on. Not only do we have the wind gusts, we've got winds that are going to linger with us here all through, I think, the evening hours and beyond. So we'll keep 20, 25, maybe up to 30 miles per hour around here as well. So here's the wind gust forecast. Later today, gets a little more widespread. Again, these are just a general idea of some of the gusts you could be looking at. This particular model has been really trying to push even higher gusts, which could very well happen from time to time. So 25, 30, and plus a possibility out there. But once we cross over more so into Monday, notice they start backing off quite a bit, 10, 15 miles per hour, very common, not a big deal at all, but you'll certainly notice it for a little while. Out there right now, a lot of sunshine for us, and 70s. Moorhead to Frankfort, 70 and 72, 70 in London, and 71 here in Lexington. And you can see just a little sway. This is one of our live cams. You can see a little bit of sway in the trees just outside here at the station. Right now, area-wide, upper 60s to our east. Harlan at 68. Here in Lexington, we're in the 70s, and all around us, that's where you're going to find them. Good concentration of them. Southern and eastern Kentucky, just a little bit cooler. But you compare this to this exact moment yesterday, and we're 14 degrees warmer. Anywhere you look, about 10 to 15 degrees warmer across Kentucky. So we are doing a whole lot better if you are trying to side with the warmer temperatures. But if you like the cooler stuff, you're going to have to hold on because it's going to be a little while. Our news director, Robert Thomas, grabbed this picture as he was landing here today. This is Keeneland, and you can see there's a parking lot off in the distance, a few cars. This is the hill where they would normally be tailgating. Of course, it's Sunday, so you're not seeing quite as much, but just a beautiful shot there taken just a little while ago, and I'm going to share that on Facebook, and you can go find it on Facebook as well. Here's Defender Radar Network, quiet across central and eastern Kentucky. Frontal boundary on the move and barely even noticeable, but what you'll find is some cooler temperatures behind it. They are revealed right here in our 7-day forecast. Sunny skies, 60s around here, and then we get toward the end of the week and we actually start tracking a cold front into town, and that will bring a little surge in temperatures, and it also brings a rain chance as well, Sean.
In the meantime, though, that is a great looking forecast.
I mean, if you like normal, calm, and boring, it's fantastic.
Can't beat boring. I'll take boring any day of the week as far as the weather goes.
Of course. Yeah.
Thanks, Jim. It is back to business tomorrow for Jim Beam employees. Striking employees voted to go back to work on Friday. About 250 of them had walked off the job more than a week ago at distilleries in Claremont and Boston after they voted down a contract offer. They wanted more full-time workers hired instead of temporary employees. We've learned that a new contract was passed, and the company says they will hire more full-time workers in an effort to cut down on overtime by the workers that are there right now. Distilleries will resume tomorrow at full strength. Lee K is in next with sports. It was a fantastic finish last night for the UK football team.
Yeah, it really was, Sean. It came down to the foot of Austin McGinnis. We will hear from the Wildcat hero next. And the Bengals win the Battle of Ohio thanks in part to one of the best catches you'll see this season. That's next in sports. Well, what a finish and what a win for Kentucky football on Saturday night over Mississippi State. A cat and dog fight that was decided by a game-winning field goal. The first for Kentucky since the LSU game back in 1998. Rob Bromley caught up with the players after the game.
When it was over, Mark Stoops called it one of the craziest games he had ever been a part of. And it was, with so many swings of emotion. Right at the end, it all came down to the foot of Austin McGinnis. And he came through.
It felt good coming off my foot, and honestly, I just went blank after that. Like, I just kind of stood there like, you know, deer in the headlights, and it went in, and I just started celebrating with my snapper and holder because, you know, they put a lot of work into it too. and it's just a great feeling. Love it.
I was just praying like, God, please, God, please, God, please. Then I see the ball. I'm like, oh my gosh, he just made it. He just made it. Yeah.
To the wire, to the last second. That kick, I mean, once it goes through the uprights, we're all storming that field, and it's unbelievable. I mean, like I said, the emotions were so high.
We showed that resiliency, and we showed that toughness, and all that stuff I talked about is starting to pay off in the offseason with being physically tougher, mentally tougher, and be able to bounce back from adversity. And that's what I'm most proud of.
So the dramatic victory gives Kentucky 4 wins overall and 3 in the SEC. The Cats need 2 more now to be bowl eligible. They head to Missouri next week. At Commonwealth Stadium, Rob Bromley, WKYT.
The next game on the schedule is at Missouri, a noon kickoff on the SEC Network. The Tigers lost at home to Middle Tennessee on Saturday. The Wildcats now need to win 2 of their final 5 games to become bowl eligible for the first time in 6 seasons. The Bengals had won 3 in a row in the Battle of Ohio, looking to make that 4 this afternoon and get their season turned back in the right direction. The Browns still without a win under new head coach Hugh Jackson. Just before the half, Bengals leading 14-10. Andy Dalton lobs up the Hail Mary, and A.J. Green comes down with a touchdown catch. Somehow, an unbelievable grab. Bengals were on top 21-10 at the break. Wow, look at that catch. Third quarter, Browns backup quarterback Kevin Hogan can't find a receiver, so he keeps it himself, and he goes 28 yards for the touchdown. The Browns down just 21-17, but the Bengals would have the answer in the form of Jeremy Hill. Takes the handoff, and he's going 74 yards for the touchdown. The Bengals get the win over the Browns 31-17. After the game, Andy Dalton talked about A.J. Green's catch just before half.
If it's not play of the year, there's got to be something really, really good that's going to happen the rest of this year. I mean, for him to tip it and it hits off somebody else and him go one hand and get it, I mean, shows what kind of hands he has.
A matchup of the only remaining unbeatens in the SEC on the volleyball court today. Kentucky at Missouri. The Tigers took the first 2 sets. Leah Edmond comes through with the kill there in set 3 to win it for the Wildcats. Kentucky with another set point in the 4th frame. This time, it's the defense putting up the block to even the match at 2 games each. In the 5th and deciding set, Wildcats trailing 14-12. Edmond comes up with a big block, but the Missouri coach challenges that a Kentucky player was in the net during the rally. You see Kaz Brown in the middle of the screen. She is the guilty party. The officials give the point to the Tigers, and Missouri wins the match 3-2 over the Wildcats. We go racing out at Keeneland for the $125,000 Root and Riddle Dowager Stakes. A field of 11 going to the turf. The favorite was Electrum. Kurt Becker brings them down the stretch.
Final furlong of the Root and Riddle Dowager Stakes. Apple Betty chased by Electrum. Apple Betty the leader a length. Electrum trying. Swear by it goes to 3rd. Electrum a final try. Electrum gets there by a head on the line for Drayden Van Dyke.
Electrum wins the 25th running of the Root and Riddle Dowager Stakes, just edging Apple Betty. Swear by it comes in 3rd. Sean, I didn't have any money on any of those, so
yeah,
no money won today.
Win or lose, I'm just jealous of anybody who was able to get out there on a day like this.
It's beautiful. And Keeneland ends this week, so they've only got a few days left.
Yep, yeah, the next few days look great, so make sure you get out there. We will be right back to wrap up the 6 o'clock newscast here in just a minute. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $30 million. Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, $164 million. So we have kind of a boring forecast from a boring meteorologist today.
Everything he says is true. Everything. Overall, kind of flat for at least the next few days. And what I mean by that is temperatures are about normal for this time of year. Very nice, sunny skies. I mean, we got some wind out there right now. That's about it. But we do have a little change there Thursday. Got another shot of some rain. But even beyond that, we're about average for this time of year.
Yeah, but we'll take that. I mean, instead of extreme cold or anything like that.
That's right. Average is not bad. Keep that in mind.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Our next newscast is a little bit delayed tonight, around 11:30. We will see you around then.